Finally, at long last, ladies and dudes, the Star Wars saga has finally come to an end. Hallelujah to that. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobub197. This is my review for today. And for today's review, ladies and dudes, well, my friends, we are finally here at my last and final movie review that I will do for the year of 2019. And I gotta tell you, the truth is, right now, ladies and dudes, I finally made it to 10 movies that I did see in theaters. All 10 movies that I finally seen in theaters. Man, what a world record. I finally made it to 10 movies of this year. How cool is that? And for right now, let's head on to that 10th movie that I did see in theaters. If I can get the shade of my movie ticket right. Here we go. So for my last and final movie review for Season 8 is Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. And I will tell you about this movie in a moment. But for right now, let's head on to the main plot of the story. And what the heck I should say about the last and final chapter for the Star Wars saga. It's a story about Rey, Finn, Poe, a few of their droids, and our dear beloved Wookiee. They are heading on to their last and final mission of their lives to take down Kylo Ren and his group of dark side people once and for all, and find a way to keep our galaxy safe for old time's sakes. And that's all I could say about the main plot of the story. And yes, it is a sad shame that we finally gonna say goodbye to the Star Wars saga for the last 42 years, I guess. And I guess everybody wants to know is, I'm sure everybody's so darn antsy about it. What the heck do I think about this movie? Well, to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I frickin' enjoyed it. This is a pretty darn good movie to watch, and it really did surprise me. I will say it had a very good storyline for the most part. It has likable characters, it has beautiful cinematography, it had a really good score, and I really want to thank John Williams for giving us one of the best movie scores of all time in movie history. And I love the special effects. And the best part I love about this film is the main climax to the story. Something that I'm very darn surprised of. So anyway, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. I will say for the strongest points for this movie is a tie. Just a tie between one of the most beautiful cinematographies I have ever seen in movie history and also the main climax to the story. For my first strongest point is the cinematography. Out of all the Star Wars trilogies I did see from 1 to 3, 4 to 6, and 7 to 9, I will say from 7 to 9, they had the best cinematography I have ever seen in Star Wars history. I mean, this cinematography had blew me away. It was very well shot, very well detailed. It has good picture quality to it. What else I could say about cinematographies? It is a very beautiful thing I have ever seen in movie history. That's all I could say about cinematographies. And truly the first strongest point about this film. And the second strongest point about this film is the main climax. From 15 or 20 minutes to the movie. I will say it's epic, exciting, unique, and there's a whole ton of surprises that we did not see coming. Well, I'll tell you the truth is, there's only two things that really did surprise me in this film, and two things only. For the first main surprise that I'm not allowed to spoil, is something I began to know for all this time. And I just knew it from The Last Jedi. That's all I could say about that one. And for the second main surprise that everybody should know about this film, there were two voice cameos that I began to hear for the main climax of the film. Just two great cameo appearances. Well, not a cameo appearance from person, but just the two familiar voice cameos. And I did not see this coming. I just did not know. I'm sorry, ladies and dudes. I just can't tell you who these two voice cameos are. Because this is a non-spoiler movie review, and I'm not allowed to spoil things for all of you. So, go on and see this movie for yourselves. It is going to surprise you. Big time. So, I will say, for the two best, strongest points about this film is the cinematography and the last 15 or 20 minutes of this film that featured a very good epic climax to the story. And let's go on to the weakest points. I only found two main weak points of the film. Okay, one weak point I found with this movie can be a little bit draggy here and there, and I was waiting for something exciting and unique to happen. But yeah, there's a few draggy moments here and there in this film, and I got a little bit bored of it. But I still enjoy the film for what it is. But there's a couple of draggy moments here and there. What else I could say? And the other main weak point is, yeah, there's a familiar cameo appearance in this movie. And I am not sure this is the actor that we remember who played this character, or it could be somebody else. I'm kind of stuck about that part. And another thing I'm not allowed to spoil. So, that's the only weak points that I found with this film is there was one cameo appearance that I'm not sure if that's the same actor or not. And there's a couple of draggy moments here and there. And that's pretty much it. And now, let's go on to the characters. And let's go on with the two characters who are truly the best parts about the film. One is a new character, and the other is the old character. I have to do the same thing again, just like in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, because it's a good idea we need to talk about only one character each who is very new to the series and somebody that we're familiar with. Okay, for the first character I want to talk about is Rey. Rey, I hope I got her name right, played by Daisy Ridley. And I will say that Daisy really did a really good job of playing the main protagonist to the Star Wars story. I mean, she had a very good storyline. She has a great personality, great attitude. She does have a very nice face, and she's a very tough cookie, and she knows how to use a stick, and she knows how to use a lightsaber pretty darn well. And yes, she could use the Force. And thanks to Princess Leia, our dear beloved character that we all know and love, played by Carrie Fisher. Yes, thanks to Leia, she was the one who could take care of Rey and try to help her out with her training and become the next generation of a Jedi. And I really do like the part where Rey said to Leia, "Yes, Master." So she really does think that Leia is her master. I think maybe Leia did a way better job of training Rey, how to be the next Jedi than Luke did. Well, if you guys remember the Last Jedi thing. So that's all I could say about Rey. And yes, ladies and dudes, there is a big giant spoiler that there is one small plot twist that I did not see coming. And I'm not allowed to spoil it for all of you. So I can't tell you what the plot twist is. You gotta see it for yourself. And finally, the last character I want to talk about is C-3PO, played by our dear beloved Anthony Daniels. And all I could say about Anthony Daniels, he did a really good job of playing with this beloved character for the last 42 years. And yes, ladies and dudes, I will admit there is one interesting fun fact you should know about Anthony Daniels playing C-3PO. He did come back and reprise his role for this whole entire time for the last 42 years ago. Not just in the Star Wars movies, but also in TV shows, commercials, some cameo appearance from like some other movie or a TV show, whatever. But yeah, he did come back and reprise his role, and he never gave up on his character for a very, very long time. I mean, this guy had broken a record. He broke the most biggest record ever in Star Wars history, surprisingly to say. And about C-3PO, he's a really cool droid, and he's been the worried one for all this time in the Star Wars saga. I will say he had a pretty good storyline and a good personality, great attitude. He's the worried one, like I said. He has a good connection with R2-D2 for all the Star Wars films that we remembered from the past, present, and future, and so many others. I wish I could say more about C-3POs, but he's a really good character overall. And now, ladies and dudes, here we go. My final thoughts of Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. Overall, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, is a very darn good movie to watch. It had a really good storyline for the most part. The characters are likable, beautiful cinematography, an amazing score by our dear beloved John Williams. It has good special effects and great costume designs. And yes, it has one of the best climactical feels that we will never forget in movie history. So for my rating for this film, I decided to give it an 8.7 out of 10. Please check out this movie to believe it. And be happy that the Star Wars saga has finally come into an end at long last. And that is it, ladies and dudes. That is my whole entire movie review of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. And I'm sorry if I made a couple of mistakes or two while I'm doing this movie review. And after all, Christmas is coming. And yes, ladies and dudes, join me next time for my next videos as I do my two-part event of my top 20 best videos that I did in the year of 2019. And it's going to be way too hard for me to pick which one I like the best, but you'll know what I mean. So, I'll see you guys later, and sayonara, and most of all, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.